I'm Marty.
Hi, I'm Star.
Together, we're InBliss Yoga. And we want to welcome you. Thank you so much for being here. I'm sure that you have lots of questions about yoga. Like, what is yoga? Well, yoga means union. It's the union of the body, of the mind, and of the spirit. And what's different about yoga than other forms of exercise is that you don't just work out your body. It's also about relaxation and really noticing how your body feels, paying attention to your body. That's what yoga is about.
And the word yoga stems from the Sanskrit word yug, which means to join, to yoke, to unite. And it's really a union of yourself, of your whole self, because we get fragmented in the busyness of life. Your mind gets pulled out of your body gets pulled out of your mind. And so you're trying to bring it back together again using your breath as the thread.
Another thing that's really cool about yoga is that it's something that anyone can do. That's something that other people ask is, can anyone do yoga? And the answer is yes. You just have to find your kind of yoga. You have to hone in on the style that meets your needs.
Because there's so many different styles out there. It's amazing since yoga has exploded in the West. All these different types that have popped up all over the place. All different names. Bikram is a style of yoga that's named after a man. Ashtanga is a style of yoga that was a man that developed that. There's all these BKS Iyengar.
He's the one that started working with the blocks,
yes,
and the straps.
Holding poses for 25 minutes. You know, and so it depends on where you're at, what type of style is going to work best for you.
And then there's like power yoga. That's another form of yoga that's for the athletes, you know. So there's yoga for people that are already athletic and want to be more athletic. And then there's yoga for people that have never done it before, maybe have some weight issues and feel uncomfortable exercising because it's not something that they've always done. Mm-hmm. So we've got all types of yoga for you.
And that's another question people ask is, what types of yoga do we offer here at InBliss? And we really like to start with propped up yoga. We use a chair. It's propped up, it's chair yoga. And so no matter where you are, if you have, if you struggle with balance, if you have injuries that you're dealing with the chair, you can do anything.
We have several students that are in their late 70s and early 80s, and they are getting all of the benefits of yoga that someone that is maybe in our vinyasa flow is getting. So don't let any limitations that you think you have keep you from enjoying the wonder of yoga. Because you know what? Yoga is something that cures whatever is ailing you. Like if you have a headache, you know, and you're thinking, oh my God, what am I going to do for this headache? You do a little bit of yoga, and when you leave feeling so much better. We have restorative yoga because most of us don't rest enough. You don't even get the proper sleep. You're lying there, but you're not really resting. So rest and restore a whole hour of this delicious yoga just for you.
And at the same time, you're still stretching. You're releasing tension from your muscle tissues, which is another main goal of yoga. We do these movements, these postures to get into the body because the body holds on to emotions that you've had to swallow. You're getting into what no longer serves you so you can release it. You don't have to keep that inside of you anymore. And if you're a person that really likes to work out, if you want it hot, if you want to move fast, we've got classes like that too. Our vinyasa classes, you're going to start working your upper body more. We're going to be doing high push-ups, low push-ups, up dogs, down dogs. We're flowing from one pose to the next.
And you can continue to keep it up there, and you can be a rock star arm balance person. That's the most advanced class that we offer here. And so we have everything from propped up yoga, for, like I said, for the elderly, or if you have some weight issues, or if you have had a knee replacement or hip issues, all the way to rockstar arm balance.
And don't forget about Ashtanga mix.
That's right.
Ashtanga mix is right in between that vinyasa and arm balance class. So you have stepping stones to work your way up. Ashtanga moves a little bit faster paced than vinyasa, but we like to call it a mix because we don't stick to the primary series. For you Ashtangis out there, we like to mix it up so that we can have a variety of postures, a variety of movements, but it's still going to be a workout.
And you know, something else that's really cool about InBliss, because we are a community. It's not just a yoga studio. It is a place where people gather together. People come here with their friends. We, mother-daughter, lots of mother-daughter sets, lots of sons and mothers, lots of fathers, everybody right here at InBliss getting their yoga on, getting their bliss on.
It's a place to meet up. I mean, people come here to meet their friends. You know, you were all at work, we're busy, you don't have time for each other, but you're like, oh, I know I'm going to get to see my friend later at yoga. And that's why we like to have snacks. That's one of the many things that is different about InBliss Yoga is that we love snacks. We've always loved snacks. We want you to have something to eat if you're coming from work. You know, you don't want to have a blood sugar drop. And the snack table kind of becomes a watering hole for people. They start gathering around before and after class, talking about their experiences, talking about what was happening before. But then when you get to your yoga mat, you got to let all that go.
So yoga is about feeding your soul, feeding your body, feeding, your mind with positive thoughts, because a lot of times what happens is that you have this negative dialogue playing in your head that you can't let go of it, but you come to yoga and you can release all that. You can start over.
And so another question that many people have been asking us is, how did InBliss start? And really, it started with you, Mom.
Yes, it started with me. And so I started doing yoga when I think my son was about 3 or 4 years old, and he's 21, so that's been a while. And I had a very stressful job, and I wanted stress relief. And so I started taking yoga, and I also started chanting, which is something else that I'll get into much later. But because of chanting and doing yoga, I felt moved to teach yoga. And when I started teaching yoga, there was no yoga in the Northland. There was no yoga studios. I mean, now there's yoga studios everywhere, but there was no yoga studio in the Northland. So I was teaching at all the different gyms. I taught at many, many gyms in the Northland. I taught at hospitals, community centers, tennis courts, and this one was coming with me. Everywhere I went, she was my little sidekick.
I was her first little assistant. And we teach out of our house, too. We'd have little workshops every Friday night.
Yep.
Every Friday, we'd have 2 sets of students coming through. We'd do yoga outside by the creek and just create, again, that community. It all started really out of our house and reaching into the community.
And so we want to reach out to you so that you can be part of our community.
So now you've done your first yoga class. But did you know there's yoga etiquette?
Well, I'm going to tell you all about yoga etiquette. And this is something that's really important to know, is that when you start doing yoga, you're going to be sweating. You're going to be sweating a lot. And so that means that your clothes are going to be soaking up that funk. And even though when you first put them on, you smell sweet as a flower, as you start to sweat, you're not going to smell like a flower. You're going to smell really, really funky. And so it's really important to power wash your clothes and
use OxyClean.
Yeah.
You need extra stuff in there. Fabric softener. When you put them in the dryer, use dryer sheets. and then you might need to even change your clothes. Like sometimes we teach 2 classes back to back, and we have to change our clothes in between.
Yes. So another thing that's really important about yoga etiquette is that you want to make sure that you don't step on anyone's mat, because a person's mat is their private space, and you want to honor it.
And we're going to be taking off our socks and shoes whenever you're doing yoga, partly because we don't want to bring in that dirt from the street into the studio. Our faces are getting down on the ground. So we leave our shoes and our socks in cubbies. We have little cubbies where you can leave your socks and shoes, and then you can come on here, and it's a lot easier to balance when you're barefoot too. And the other thing you want to leave in your car is your cell phone.
Yes, because nothing ruins a yoga class than a phone ringing. Just like when you go to the movies. you don't have your phone on when you go to the movies.
You're not texting people while the movie's going on.
You don't want anyone calling you or interfering with your personal time, because when you come to yoga, you have made an appointment with yourself, which is really important.
You're here to disconnect. You want to detach from all of that busyness. You don't need your phone. Leave it behind.
Leave it in your car.
And when you're in your car, we have a specific place that you need to park too, because we're here in a strip mall, and so we have a lot of neighbors, and we love our neighbors.
We love our neighbors.
We love them.
We want to honor them.
We do. We want to honor their parking spots, and we even bought them their own yellow signs that says reserved parking. And so don't park anywhere where you see a reserved parking yellow sign. That's for their customers, because they come all hours of the day. Even if it says that they're closed, they might need to be loading or unloading. We don't know what they're doing, so we need to leave their spaces for them. However, the church across the street,
which is now called the Turning Point, it is an organization that is so sweet, and they let us use their parking lot. So just make sure that you're careful when you're crossing the street, okay?
So another thing that we'd like to talk to you about is that we actually have become a part of MindBody, and you can actually download an app on your phone. So from your phone, you can check in to our classes. You download the app, and the way I remember is MindBody. And then once you download that, you need to look for us specifically, for InBliss Yoga, because lots of workout places, lots of yoga studios use MindBody for checking in to classes. So after you download MindBody, you're going to search for InBliss Yoga, and then you'll actually be able to see our schedule. So you're going to go to MindBody, you're going to search for InBliss Yoga, and then you can see our whole range of schedules, who teaches. Everything is available right there. And when you're using the app to check in, it's called booking. You're booking a class with us. And then once you do that from your phone, you don't have to do it in the studio. You can avoid all the lines. You can just walk in and be like, I checked in online, and go right into your classroom.
No line, no waiting. Go right to your space. Speaking of classes, the number one thing that people have been asking me for years is to have some online classes. I'm so excited that finally I get to offer that. Online classes. InBliss DELUXE membership. Online classes. Yay!
And it's got a lot for you. You're going to get 3 videos every month from us. And you get to have your own private Facebook group with Marty.
With me. I'm the Facebook queen. You and I will be connecting on Facebook.
And then what we're super excited about, YogaCon!
You have to sign up now. You have to do it. You have to do it for yourself. It's an investment in yourself. Because if you can't get to the studio, you can still practice yoga with us.
We hope you sign up today. But no matter what you do, we're so glad you're here.
We're a family.
And we want you to be a part of our yoga family. Whether it's online
or at the studio.
We'll see you in class.